Hello my little monsters, welcome back to the channel. I'm here today to talk to you about something new in math called place value. So stay tuned to learn all about place value and what it means when we're learning about math. So my little monsters, if you wanted to learn about place value, then this is the video for you. To start, we need to know the definition of place value. What does it mean? Place value is the value of any digit in a number. And so I'm going to say that again. Place value is the value of any digit in a number. And so you're going to start at the furthermost right digit, the furthermost right digit. And so that is our ones place. When you are looking at a number, you always start at that ones place to see, okay, here's what I have in my ones column. And that can go all the way up to 9. But then when it becomes a double digit, you have got to move over to your tens place. And so your tens place is just to the left of your ones place, and it can go all the way up to 9. So you could have 9 tens and 9 ones, and then after that, if your number gets any bigger, you have to move into your hundreds place. Your hundreds is to the left of your tens place, and once again, it can go all the way up to 9, and then you can have 9 tens and 9 ones. So that number would be 999. But if you add any more to that, you've got to move into your thousands place. And so your thousands place would be the one that is to the left of your hundreds. And if we're looking from right to left, it goes ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So we're going to say that again. Place value goes ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So my little monsters, now that you have an idea of what place value is, we're going to go through some examples together. And so the first thing that we're going to do is look at a few numbers and look at a certain digit within the number to identify whether that digit is in the ones, tens, hundreds, or thousands place. So our first number is 48. And let's look at the 8 in this example. If I am thinking, place value, what place is my 8 digit in? Well, it's to the far, very far, the furthermost right. So it is going to be my ones place. And so that is our first example. And now let's look at a number that's a little bit bigger. Let's look at 714. So 714. It's definitely a bigger number, but all you have to do is think about the place value that we learned. And so if I specifically want to say, well, the digit 1, what place is it in? Well, it is in my tens place, and that means that I have 110. So in the number 714, I have 110 in that number. Next, let's look at another number. We're going to look at 2,987. So 2,987 is a number that's over 1,000. It's in our thousands. And so if I asked you, well, what's the value of that 2? What is the value? I would look at my place value and think ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So in this specific number, the 2 represents 2 thousands. Now let's look at our last example. Our number is 362. 362. And we want to see, what value does the 3 have? In the number 362, what value does the 3 have? Is it in our ones place, our tens place, our hundreds place, or our thousands place? Well, going from right to left, the 3 would be in our hundreds place. So that means in the number 362, I have 3 hundreds. Now we're going to move on to our next set of problems, but I do want to make one distinction. And so in the last set of example problems, we were more so focused on what place a certain digit was in a number. And so I discussed a little bit about the value of a certain digit, but mainly I wanted you guys to see that the order that we're always going from is right to left, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. And so now for this specific set of example problems, we are going to look at the actual value of a digit in a number. And so let's get started. We have the number 62. What is the value of 62? When I look at the number 62, what's the value of the 6? Well, looking at my place value, that means that I have 6 in my tens place. And so I have 6 tens. And 6 tens is the same as 60. So looking at the number 62, if I'm trying to figure out what really is the value of the 6, well, that's telling me when I read it that I have 6 tens. Our next example is 485. And so we want to say, what is the value of the 4? 485. The cool thing about certain numbers is that they will tell you the value of the number when you say it. So 485. Well, thinking about from right to left, ones, tens, hundreds, I know that my 4 is in the hundreds place. And so I have 4 hundreds. And when I read the number, it says 485. And so the value of the 4 in the hundreds place will just be 4 hundreds. Our next problem is 1,799. Wow, that's a lot bigger than our previous examples. But all we have to do is remember what we've learned. And we want to think, what's the value of that 9? 1,799. Well, it's in the very furthermost right column. And so that's just telling me that I have 9 ones. I just have 9 ones. And our last example is 3,126. 3,126. And so looking from right to left, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, if I want to know the value of the 3, I know it's 3,000. And once again, when I say the number, it is saying 3,126. And so we know that the value that that 3 has is that it's 3,000. So for our last set of examples, we're going to do something a little different. We are going to write out the correct number based on place value information given. And so to do this, you are going to need to draw 4 blank spaces. And so those 4 blank spaces represent from right to left our ones place, our tens place, our hundreds place, and our thousands place. And so we're going to read a brief description and then decide what the number should be based on our place value information. And so let's start with 1,000s. If we have 1,000s, we know that the thousands place is in the furthermost left. And so we are going to put the 1 in the first blank of our 4 blanks. Next, we have the number 4 ones. And not the number 4 ones, but the digit 4 ones to go into our number. And so we have to think, where does place value put the ones? Well, the ones is always to our furthermost right, and so that goes in the 4th out of the 4 blanks. Next, we have 3 tens, and so 3 tens is to the left beside our ones place, meaning that it goes into the 3rd of the 4 blanks. So I'll say that again. The 3 tens is going to go into the 3rd of our 4 blanks, and we're just missing 1 digit now. And so we have 5 hundreds, and that 5 belongs in the 2nd of the 4 blanks. And so when you add it all together, that number, my little monsters, is 1,534. I'll say it again, that number was 1,534. For our second example, we're going to do the same thing, but with different information. So you need to draw 4 new blank spaces. And you may not use all of them, but that's okay. So the first part that we see in our problem is 2 tens. we know that our our tens place is always to the left of our ones place, and so the 2 is going to go into the third of our 4 blanks. And let's look at our next one. We have 800s. And so the 800s, well, our hundreds is to the left of our tens, and so that means that it is going to be in the second of the 4 blanks. So far we have our 8 and then our 2 in the second and third blanks, and we still have 9 ones left. And so our ones place is at the very furthermost right, and so that 9 is going to go at the very far right end. And in this problem, we don't have any thousands, so that's okay. Our thousands spot is blank. That means our number is under 1,000. And so let's read it looking all the way across. That number is 829. So my little monsters, in closing, what we learned all about today is place value. And so just to refresh your mind on what the definition is, place value is the value of a digit in a number. So place value is the value of a digit in a number. And so remember, we start from right to left, looking at our ones place, tens place, hundreds place, and then in that furthermost left, we have our thousands place. I will say that one more time. We always go from right to left when looking at place value. And so that number to the furthermost right is our ones place, and then beside it, tens place. Beside our tens place, we have our hundreds place, and then our thousands place. And so that is what we discussed today when we learned all about place value. Okay, my little monsters, so I hope that you enjoyed today's video about place value. Remember, if you like the video, like it on our YouTube channel and follow our channel. And you can also like our Facebook to see more content. And don't forget to fill out the worksheet attached to this video and then follow along for our video worksheet walkthrough. I hope to see you guys next time, my little monsters. Until then, bye, my little monsters.